Hello, everybody, and today we are going to talk about the importance of reporting the Paycheck Protection Program loan correctly on your pandemic unemployment insurance claim. Today's video is going to cover the importance of reporting it correctly in order to avoid an audit, and hence why paying yourself weekly does matter. Secondly, we're going to talk about how to correctly report on your PUA claim in order to avoid your claim going into adjudication. And lastly, we are going to talk how to seamlessly go back onto PUA after using up your PPP funds. Now, just a disclaimer, I am not an SBA employee, I am not a PUA employee, I am not an attorney, and I am not an accountant. Please always verify all information you find on the internet with the appropriate individuals. So, to start off, we are going to discuss the importance of reporting it correctly to avoid an audit. The Paycheck Protection Program uses 2.5 times your monthly income. So, to ensure forgiveness, the SBA states that your salary must remain the same as in February of 2020. Let me just repeat that for you. To ensure forgiveness, the SBA states that your salary must remain the same as in February of 2020. This is where people are getting a lot of mixed information on the internet, and they need to be very careful. I've noticed in some of my videos, people are talking about paying themselves a lump sum, they're talking about paying themselves monthly, etc. If you are on unemployment insurance, please continue to pay yourself weekly, as my videos have gone over, because it helps you to seamlessly transition back onto pandemic unemployment insurance, and it helps you to report your weekly income. You cannot pay yourself in one lump sum. You cannot pay yourself monthly, stuff like that. You need to do it weekly if you are on pandemic unemployment insurance in order to avoid your claim being thrown back into adjudication and in order to avoid yourself being set up for fraud. So take a look at all the information, but definitely you want to keep paying yourself weekly, even though other people in the comment sections have been talking about paying yourself a lump sum. You can do that if you are not collecting unemployment, but this video is specifically about collecting unemployment, so please continue to pay yourself weekly as we've gone over, because it is just going to be so much easier for a paper trail and for you to transition back on unemployment. So, how to correctly report it on your claim to avoid your claim going into adjudication. You will be paying yourself from your PPP for a minimum of 6 weeks up to 10 weeks. You must use 60% of your funds on payroll, so you will be paying yourself at least 6 weeks. Each week that you are getting paid with your Paycheck Protection Program loan, you are going to put it in your portal as self-employment income. Now, most of you are going to be extremely familiar with this, how you go into the claim and it'll ask you, were you available for work? Did you go to school? A whole bunch of questions, and then it'll ask how many hours you worked. That you will put how many hours you worked that week. If you worked none, you just put 0. Simple as that. Then it will say, did you receive any income from your self-employment? And when it asks that question, that is where you are going to put your amount that you paid yourself for this week. And that's why I say to do it weekly, because it just seamlessly flows with your PUA application. Once you have used up all your available funds with your Paycheck Protection Program, you've either paid yourself for 6 weeks and used the remainder on business expenses, or you've paid yourself for the 10 weeks, the 2.5 months, then you will simply continue on with your pandemic unemployment claim, just like before you received your PPP. You'll simply go in then, and then when it states, did you receive any income from self-employment, you will say no, because your PPP is done. Now, the biggest recommendation I can make is when you are paying yourself with your PPP to limit your spending with your PPP funds, because each state is different when it comes to processing claims, and what works in one state might not necessarily work in another. And when you have big changes from having income to not having income, sometimes that can automatically trigger just some computer system to throw your claim into adjudication anyways, and you could be waiting a long time. So my personal recommendation is save as much money as you can so you have something to live on just in case your claim does get thrown into adjudication. So I hope today's video was helpful. Any questions, comments, concerns down in the comment section, please subscribe and share with anyone who might find this information useful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for joining me.